Good day and just about noon. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Chronic Wellness Podcast live stream. I'm your host, Don Antonio Corianti. And what does that name mean? A few people have asked me recently, what does your name, what does that mean? It translates loosely kind of to like Anthony Golden Sunshine or Anthony of the Golden Light. So this is kind of my shaman name. I generally just go by Tony. So you can call me Tony or Anthony. A lot of people call me Anthony. All of them are good. I like them all. Some people are confused and think my name is Don, but my name isn't Don. Don is a term of endearment. It's kind of like Sir or Mister. It also informs of, I'm a spiritual leader, so it's kind of like when we call a priest father. So I'd be Father Anthony. But since I'm a shamanic priest, I'm Don Antonio. So welcome, everyone. Today we're going to do a little bit of breath work. There was something else. I can't remember what it was that I had planned. Maybe it will come back to me. Poof. Yeah, so I'm doing 3 live streams a week now, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And what I'm doing is I'm reserving Mondays for like a teaching episode. And right now I'm in a 6-episode series about stress management. And episode 1 was Monday. And it was a really good episode. And the next episode for that, episode 2 of that 6-part series, will be Monday. We'll be stepping into the next set of learning for the control of stress, because that's a big deal. That's something that Mary and I are really focused on right now. We started putting some things together, designing some flyers and stuff that I was just sitting here going over, creating wellness programs for different types of things, for corporate and veterans and seniors and first responders. And essentially, this is going to be presented primarily as stress relief. Human beings, it's normal. Who doesn't have stress? If you don't have any sort of stress, maybe you're not alive. In my experience, the more stress you have, the more alive you are. People who are very successful and things, and seems like their life is easy and stuff like that, it's not really that's the case. It's just they're also really good at managing stress. And what is the first key to managing stress? Always is the control of your breathing, because your breathing has everything to do with how your mind works and how your body reacts and your hormone levels and so on and so forth. I love to get into the science and talk about all that stuff and teach about that stuff, because it's wonderful. It's amazing information for all human beings to know. If you're just coming into the space, drop in, throw up a comment, just let us know that you're here, or if you want to, where you're watching from, because it's excellent to see the people who show up from all over the world. Melissa Lewis, good morning. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. 1 million Buddhas. Welcome, brother. Brianna Burgess, good afternoon. How are you today? I'm glad everybody's here. We had a good time on Wednesday. We had, I think, three remote healings happen that day, so that was really good. That's also something I'm going to offer today. So pretty much the first 2 or 3 people. I usually don't have enough time for more than that. Sometimes I do, because I try to keep the show around an hour or so. So I'm going to put up the banner. Comment if you're interested in receiving healing, have a question, or just want to share your experience. So distance healing is a very kind of simple and subtle thing. It's quite amazing, really. I think Monday we had some people with level 6 pain. I usually ask people about their pain and a level of 1 to 10, where it's at in the current moment. And I think we had one person that was at a 6, and we took them all the way down to a 0. But it's together. Together we create that and make that happen. So I'm going to put that banner up and let that be there. Lulu. Hi, Lulu. Welcome. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of breath first. So what I'm going to ask you to do is wherever you're at, if you can, get yourself in a comfortable position. It's important to always be in a comfortable position when you're doing your practice. All right, because you don't want to really be distracted. That's a different kind of thing if you're breathing while you're doing something else. If you're doing something else, it just doesn't quite work the same. The breathing and just being quiet with your breath, that's the practice. Breathing when you're doing things in normal life, that's what the practice yields. So the practice trains the nervous system. And then when you use your breathing in normal day-to-day activity, it really changes everything in your perception and how things are working. If you're ready to do some breath, my recommendation is first to blow your nose as I'm about to. Let's check to see if the horn works. Yep, horn works. Now, let's try the lights, shall we? All right, so what I'm going to do to begin today's breathwork session is I'm going to take my left hand, I'm going to put it on my tummy, and I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to put it up here on my heart. And I'm going to just take a moment and I'm going to feel the energy of my left hand on my tummy and my right hand on my heart. And I just feel my breath. I don't do anything with it. I just become aware of how I'm breathing right now. And now I begin to expand, and you're going to begin to expand your breath and make sure you fill up into your belly. Make sure your left hand rises and your left hand comes in. I like to do a soft hum as I exhale in through the nose. Fill up your belly and just your belly. If your chest and shoulders are rising, you're doing this wrong. Just your belly. In. Push out the belly and pull in the belly. This may feel backwards at first. Push out your belly. Just your belly and pull in your belly. Push out your belly. In with your belly. Out with your belly. In with your belly. 2 more. Fill up your belly. And 1 more. Just relax for a second. Notice how you feel. Maybe there's some vibration or tingling starting. I like to do this often with my eyes closed, or if my eyes are open, a soft gaze, just looking off into space through things. No focus on any particular thing, or just allowing your mind's eye to be open, seeing the inside of your eyelids and whatever shows up in your mind's eye. Now we're going to expand that breath and go even deeper. We're going to first fill up like a wave. We're going to fill up into the belly and then the chest. So first the left hand, then the right hand. Sigh out. Open your mouth. Push out the sigh through your throat. Belly, chest. Like a wave. Belly, chest. Pull in the tummy, belly, chest. Long sweeping breaths. Big breaths. 2 more. And last one. And relax. Just feeling the energy in between your gut and your heart. These are centers of your mind. They're not just your brain. Your brain is not the only place that your mind or sense of self resides. It's within your heart. There's neurons and neurites in your heart as well as your gut. Most of your neurochemistry is happening in your gut. So allowing us to bring these 3 energies together, our gut, our heart, and our brain, we begin to create what's called coherence. Coherence, or connection between the gut brain, the heart brain, and the head brain. I want you now to bring your attention up into the center of your head, the little gap in between your eyebrows, just above your eyebrows, and into the center of your head. And inside there is your pineal gland. Coming into your head, and I want you to picture this little ball of light. Little tiny ball of light, smaller than a marble. And this ball of light begins to glow, and as you feel that glow of light, you're going to connect it like the light of your mind, your brain. You're going to bring it down. It's going to take an elevator through your throat, and it's going to connect to your heart. And I want you just to spend a moment here envisioning, picturing, sensing the feeling of your head brain and your heart brain making connection. Taking a soft breath, fill up your belly and your chest and your head. Out with a soft sigh. You're going to continue now. Let your breath be still. What you're going to do now is you're going to connect the light that's now connected from your brain and your heart and connect that down into your belly, down into your solar plexus and into your navel. And it's as if you connected an energetic line from your head brain, your heart brain, and your gut brain. And I want you to repeat the word in your mind or even out loud in your space, coherence, coherence, coherence. And what you're doing is you're inviting your body to become coherent for your gut brain, your heart brain, and your head brain to all communicate together. Through this type of communication, it brings vast health into your body and also turns on your innate divine intelligence within you. We're now going to breathe all the way from the belly to the top of the head. Breathe in. Top of the head, and as you exhale, you're going to blow out. Go back to your belly. So it's an up and down. Up the body to the head. I let my eyes roll up into my head a little, and as I exhale, the eyes look down and into my belly. I'm going all the way to my tailbone now. From my tailbone up to my crown. Eyes roll up into my head. I hold it up at the top for a moment and back down. Down to the tailbone, all the way up. Hold it, all the way down. All the way up. Hold it, all the way down. All the way up. All the way down. All the way up. And all the way down. Relax. You can take your hands off your body. I'll sometimes hold my hands open like this or let them sit in my lap. And what I do here is this is where I begin to meditate or pray. Meditate and pray. They're very interchangeable to me. It's a way in which I communicate with the higher power or what I may consider as God. And the thing is there's no wrong way. For each of us, our belief system and how we understand the higher power is very unique to each one of us, just like our fingerprints, just like our DNA. There's no wrong answer. The vibration, however, is the same. When we connect into source vibration, it's the same vibration regardless of the picture that our mind makes. But I invite you to use the mind, use the mental picture, and I want you to invite to you your highest power. I want you to invite to you what you perceive as God, the creator, the creatress, the living energy, the all that is. This is how we communicate with the highest power and communicate with our highest self. If you're capable of being a channel, this is also a beautiful way to open your channel. Opening yourself to the channeling of energy of the divine and of the upper world. And I'm inviting that to me now. I invite to me all of the divine wisdom and energy, soul codes and downloads of the upper world, of the highest vibrational beings, of the highest vibrational intelligence. I open my heart, my mind, and my soul. I'm open and ready to receive. And if you wish to receive the energy of your highest self, of the upper world, of the greatest light, that's all it takes for you is to set your intention. I intend and I set my intention to receive all that is available to me. And now what I'll do is I'll usually take in some big breaths. And as I do that, I use my intention to breathe in as if I could breathe in through my head, my heart, my belly, and my hands, saturating myself with the light of the upper world. And I breathe that in. And I invite God, I invite the Creator here to be with me, to be with us. And as I release, whoosh, I release any heavy energy, anything that's dark, shadowy, heavy, anything that's stuck or stagnant, I let go. And I invite in new, fresh upper world energy. And I just release all that is not in alignment. I'm putting myself in energetic alignment. I receive new energy and blow out old energy. In with fresh light, out with stale light. And I'll speed this up. In. Taking a bath in light. Picture it. 3, 2, last one. Blow out, let it all go, and fill up with light. And just hold it. Let it saturate into every bone, every muscle, every cell. Hold. Take in even more. Fill up. Hold. 3, 2, 1, release. Relax. You can let your hands relax, your body relax. And what we'll do is we'll spend just a few moments here testing our gratitude, moving energy into gratitude. So gratitude practice is very, very powerful, but it takes practice every day. Practice every day. And it's kind of a 3-part thing. The first part is what are you grateful for today? What can you think of or name in your mind on this beautiful Friday that you're grateful for? Whatever that is for you. I'm grateful the sun's out today. I'm grateful for my breath. I'm grateful to be here with all of you and my soul family and do this live stream. I'm grateful for my health. Continues to improve every day. I'm grateful just to be alive, just to smell the smells and taste the tastes and hear the sounds, feel the energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as I think of all the things that I'm grateful for, I now bring my attention down. I leave the picture alone and I come down to how does that feel on my belly? And sometimes you have to go back and forth a little because as you come down into your belly and you're searching perhaps for the feeling, you kind of lose where it was. That's when I move back up into my head and I find the gratitude again. I'm grateful for my kids and I'm grateful for my wife and I'm grateful for this day. The thoughts, the concepts, and come back down. Feel in your heart. This is the coherent. You're connecting your brain and your heart and your gut. Feeling in your gut, the feeling of gratitude. How does that feel in your belly? How does that feel? Don't give it a name. Just pay attention to what gratitude feels like. As you let go of the picture, you're embodying the frequency, the vibrational energy. You're an alchemist. You're taking mental energy and now turning it into emotional energy. And your emotional energy is the most powerful part about you. This is you taking control of your emotional energy. I've turned my emotional energy into gratitude, even if you're having a hard time or a rough day before. I woke up kind of heavy today myself, but right now I can bring myself into that space of gratitude. And again, I may move back up into my head and what else am I grateful for today? I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful just to sit here. I have clothes to wear. I have running water and plumbing and there's food here and water. I have people that love me. There's so much beauty in the world to behold. And I bring the thought down into my heart, down into my belly, and now I'm paying attention to how does it feel? I don't name it. I don't try to say how it feels. I'm just asking the body, how does it feel? Show me how this feels. And then after doing that a few times, the third piece of gratitude is radiance. Radiating your light. I now am going to use my intention to use my gut and my heart and my brain, and I'm going to become a column of light that begins to shine in all directions. So picture that in your mind. Picture that from your tailbone all the way to your scalp, you're a column of light. Inside of you, a beautiful round column of light. It can be any color or vibration or texture, however it shows up for you. Picture yourself as that. That's your visualization again. And now you're going to imagine and use your mind's eye as if that vibrational energy of that central column begins to vibrate through you. Waves moving through you. Sonic waves, subsonic waves, scalar waves. Waves of light, energy, and information are emitted from you like a light bulb in the dark room. Light comes through you. I want you to picture as if your skin begins to glow and you glow into the space around you. And as you glow, the light from you, the energy from you, that beautiful gratitude. Gratitude is a very deep form of love. Allowing that gratitude to come from you and begin to permeate and radiate and connect into everything around you. Into the entire room, beyond your home, out into the world, every rock, stone, pebble, every blade of grass, every blowing wind, everything is saturated with gratitude. Sharing it with the world. And in this moment, I want you to become aware that you've become a perfect absorber, transformer, and radiator of light and information. You are creation itself. What I like to do then is I like to breathe with that. I breathe in gratitude. I charge it in my belly and my chest and my head, and I blow it out through all my pores. Whoosh! Out into the world around. And I breathe in light. Fills me up, overflows me, and whoosh. Good. Taking in, I breathe in gratitude and love. And freedom and softness and healing, and whoosh. Send that out to the world. Send it out. Let it infect everything with love. Breathe in. I am creation itself. Let the energy of creation come into you and whoosh, create a new world, a world where everyone is working in harmony. Nature's working in harmony. Breathing in. Filling up that column, charging it in your belly, in your heart, in your head, and push it out. Very good. Perfect. You can spend a lot of time here doing this. I often do. Just being in the flow of universal light and intelligence. Right now in this moment, there are some beautiful messages coming in. So if you're clairsentient, just allow your mind's eye to be open. Taking in a slow, deep breath through your nose and a humming out. Good. Allow yourself to come back to center, back into your space, and slowly as you become ready, opening your eyes. You can move your head around, move your fingers and your toes, move your arms and body. Take your time, wake yourself up. Notice the softness and the feeling of refreshment. Notice how good your breath feels as it just falls in and out of your body. Very, very good. Very, very, very good. Wow, that was fun. I'm Sami Stone now. Again, this happens every time I come on the live stream now. I come on and I sit and I do the work with my loving soul family here, and I just feel great. I feel awesome. I'm so excited for whatever the rest of the day holds. So much so, I could just burst into tears right now. It's actually taking some of my mental power so I don't just sit here and start sobbing because, that could take up some time, and I am live, I guess. Although I have no reservations about crying. I encourage it in my teachings with people to take time every day to cry. If you can just take some time. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to cry in pain. But crying in pain is totally okay. It helps you to process it. We live in a world that's kind of taught us not to cry. Like most people, they start to cry. The first thing we do is we run to them with a tissue. Oh, don't cry, don't cry. No, go ahead, cry. I'm here with you. Let me hold you. Let me cry with you. I love that. That's one of my favorite things to do, actually, is to be with a small group of people, and we all become emotionally touched. And maybe we all cry, and maybe we all probably laugh afterwards. It's good to help yourself to rid yourself of that heavy energy. It's a really natural somatic type of release in the body. It's your body's way of helping you to process heavy emotions. However, it's overlooked. It's almost shunned, like crying is a bad thing. I actually have a friend who sometimes gets frustrated with their family because their family may ask them, "Are you okay? Are you depressed?" And they make the mistake of getting upset with them, like, "I'm fine, leave me alone." When really they are okay and they're just processing their emotions. It's understanding that if someone is like that in your reality, it's not that they're doing anything other than caring for you. And so you want to remember that and be caring too. So if they ask you if you're crying, you can just relax and you can tell them, "I am absolutely okay. I'm more than okay. This is how humans process emotions. I'm not sad per se or anything is wrong. This is just how I process emotions." I went 28 years without being able to cry. I tried and tried. And as soon as a tear would start to form, my defense network would kick in. I'd start laughing. No, you cannot cry. You big, strong man, you cannot cry. And it took me a while to overcome that, to allow my true strength to come forward, to allow my true masculine self to come forward and have the strength and non-resistance or fear to allow myself to cry. And now I pretty much cry every day. I cried twice this morning, actually. One time in just extreme joy because my cousin Chuck texted me today. It's got me. It's beautiful. Like I'll often cry, laugh at the same time. And I know that looks psychotic maybe, but it's joy, such a great level of joy that it like overruns my emotional body. And it's amazing. But my cousin Chuck texted me today and he mentioned that him and a friend were talking about breathing and it made him think about me. They were thinking about breathing all the energy that's available to them through their breath and it made him think of me. He told me that he loved me and that means a lot to me. But that's just a case in point. It's nice to be able to process emotions. And now this is really hard for men. We've been really taught in the society that like crying is for girls. That's kind of how it is for girls, or what my mom would say, sissies. My mom would call me a sissy if I was emotional about something. And I've always been a very sensitive person. But, that wasn't okay. And that's just how she was taught. It's not that my mom did anything wrong or anything like that. It's just how she was taught. And that just kind of gets passed down. But that kind of stopped with me. I always would encourage my daughter to cry. I still do. I encourage everyone to. All my students, all the people I work with, all the people I do sessions for. I try to explain to them that crying is a really, really powerful tool and is not something you should ignore. Now, when you couple your breathing with your crying, it's even more so, because you can go into your emotional pain with your breath, and you can use your breath to pull forward the pain, and it helps you to release it, because most of it's the energy. It's the energy, the vibration you're holding in your body, which brings these painful thoughts to you, because thoughts are energy forms, and the energy forms show up via your vibration. So say you're in a pissed off mood, what happens? You usually have pissed off kinds of thoughts. You're in a good mood, what happens? Good feeling thoughts show up, right? So you have a lot of control over, you don't have control over, all thoughts already exist in the field. You don't have control over thoughts themselves. You do have control over your vibration, which actually dictates what kind of thoughts you attract. So you can begin to manipulate your vibration through your breathing, deciding to, I'm going to slow everything down. Because when you're really upset and things are heavy, there's shallow breathing. You're in a fight or flight response. There's shallow breathing. God, it's just so hard kind of thing. Fuck. It's like that. But if you can slow down, you're telling your body, I am safe. Slow down, slow down. And that slowing down opens up a whole new way of thinking. You can start to slow things down. You're like, you know what? I think I'm okay, and everything is going to be okay, because it is. It's going to be okay. However you feel in the moment is okay, and it's temporary, no matter how you feel. If you feel awesome and you feel excellent, good, love it, and cherish it, because it's temporary. If you feel terrible and it feels like you're never going to make it, that's okay too, because that's not going to last forever. It's going to last as long as we allow it to. But that's just part of the ebbs and flows, like the mountains behind me. Life has rise and fall. And it's not that we try to make it flat without rise and fall. What we're always working at as human beings is to adapt and be able to take the heavy parts and also turn them into non-heavy parts. So even taking things that are non-desirable in your life, you have the ability to find in them what is desirable. Or another way to say this is to extract the medicine, to take the medicine out of whatever shows up. Most people don't realize that, the most difficult things in your life and the most difficult people in your life are your greatest teachers. That's hard to admit, isn't it? The person that gets on your nerves the most, the person that just upsets you the most, that person's your greatest teacher. Isn't that amazing? The stuff in the world, there's lots of stuff happening in the world that just ticks you off and upsets you. Guess what it's doing? It's teaching you how to become acceptant. This doesn't mean you're an ostrich and you bury your head in the sand. It means you become smart enough to know that by fighting against certain things, you're not actually helping them win. Right? Because the truth is, whatever you fight, you feed. Think about that for a second. Whatever I fight, I feed. That's why you'll never see me at a protest. You will see me at demonstrations of love. If we're going to demonstrate, which I love that, get a bunch of people together and have a demonstration of lovingness, those are the things that humans need to do that creates vibration and frequency. Showing up in protest is anger, is what that is. So guess what? You're inadvertently feeding the thing you don't want to happen. It doesn't mean that nothing bad happens. It just means you're not giving your attention to the bad of things, because that doesn't help it change. That perpetuates it, helps it keep going. So a lot of this has to do with consciousness and how our mind works and how we understand how energy moves, right? Because wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. So think about it this way. If you're using all of your attention to try to battle something, to fight something, none of your intention or attention or energy is going into the change of that. Okay, so then you're actually even fighting against the people who are trying to help make change, and you don't know that. Isn't that crazy? Think about that for a minute. That's how we use our minds, though, currently, and these are the things we need to change. And going into this isn't an easy thing, looking at your behavior, noticing how much you're resisting your reality, how much you're fighting against the things you don't prefer instead of adding energy into the things you do prefer, or taking energy from the things you don't prefer and putting it into energy that you do prefer, right? I mean, I'm would love, and that's what I want to see, is a world where we have equitable systems for all people, and first and foremost, clean water and actual nutritious food. I had someone argue with me the other day about some sort of legislation that could be passing where they'll be taking away these kids' meals or something at school, but the truth is, this stuff isn't even food. But their argument is, well, they'll starve otherwise. Like, so what's better, to feed your child poison so that way they don't starve? Do you see? There's a little bit of cognitive dissonance that happens there. Or should we just take care of our children? Help each other to take care of our children. That's the answer, but most people are just pointing fingers and want to blame and not actually make change. I'm here to make change. How do we make change? Okay, from inside. That happens from inside. Everybody wants to change the world, but few people are willing to change themselves. But I can tell you, and I promise you, there is no other way. You will create no changes, no real changes in the world unless you create changes within you. Because the world in which we, perceive and experience is a direct reflection of our inner world. So the more I change me, the more the world in which I perceive changes. This isn't the same one where I started from. And it won't be the same one from here because I continue to evolve. And that's a big deal. That's something we want to do as humans. And another word is adapt. Evolve gets tricky because that sounds Darwinian. Like evolve, we're going to grow from monkeys into humans. No, I mean more like adapt, like to situations, to things that are here. Right now, we have systems that are crumbling and falling apart. And some of those look like they're even getting worse in some way. Maybe they are, but without change, without actual challenge, there is no change. And without change, you're doomed to repeat a cycle. I'm done repeating cycles myself. I can't speak for everyone, but that's also what drives me into the work I do. That's what drives me into consciousness teaching and drives me into spiritual connection and awareness and makes me want to do things like this live stream that are free. I don't get anything out of this in a monetary sense. I get a lot out of this in a spiritual sense. There's a lot of spiritual energy that comes into me by making these connections out here. Not even you are just watching in this moment, but the hundreds of people that will watch over the course of the next few weeks later. It all connects itself because the universe is all connected energy. Okay. I'm going to open up the floor for anyone who is seeking healing today. If you're in need of healing, go ahead and comment. Tell us what you need healing for. Let's see. I just joined and I love peace and healing. Well, I'm glad you're here. This is about peace and healing. I love to generate peace and healing. The best way for us to do that is as a group. In here when we come together. And like I said, it doesn't even matter if the people are here right now. Even if you're watching later, you're connected into this circle and cycle of energy. So allow yourself to be with it. And this is how we create peace. We create peace from inside. If I'm peaceful inside, then I can generate, like I pointed out, gratitude. You can generate that outside because you can use different words for that sequence that I showed earlier in the podcast. For earlier in the podcast, I use gratitude. Gratitude is the mental picture, which is actually, your eyes are closed. So it's not this kind of mental picture. It's internal. It's a mind's eye picture. And this takes practice, using this mind's eye to picture in great detail what it is that you're trying to connect with. I can picture in great deal. So right now, for some reason, my dog, my pit bull Frankie, he showed up, and I close my eyes and I connect with him, and I can see his sweet furry face, all the sweet little hairs, the sunlight on him, his little doggy smell. It's so intense. My mind, I've trained this eye to see in such an intense way. It's through all of that. It's through that, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very detailed. That detailed mental picture creates a lot of energy. And I can take that energy and I can bring it down here. Oh, and I can actually feel. Now I'm letting go of Frankie's face, and instead I'm feeling it from an energetic standpoint. There is no pictures. There's just a feeling in my gut. But sometimes the feelings in your gut can also generate pictures. So it's kind of connected. Sometimes it's the other way. You can take a feeling in your gut and you can turn it into a mental picture. We're usually doing that all the time. We don't know that's happening. That's happening all the time. It's just that's usually working in a form of anxiety. You're picturing negative outcomes. You're thinking about negative outcomes, and it creates an emotional response, which then comes back up to the head and creates pictures, creates a vibration, creates more thoughts to feed this loop. But we can break that loop, and we can do it. So, as someone mentioned, peace and healing. Peace and healing. Close your eyes for a moment. What is peace and healing? What does that look like for you? Can you picture that, like on a personal level first? What to me would be peace inside of me, or peace and healing. As I take the concepts into my mind, my third eye is generating pictures, ideas, concepts. And then moving down, I take the energy and I feel inside my heart and my belly. Peace and healing. As I let it saturate my entire being, I irradiate it out from me. And I bring it into the vertical column and push it out. Like a light bulb in the dark. That's how it feels to me. Like I illuminate. I'm bright. And just like the light emits from a light bulb, it moves off into space. And again. And I well up, I shine up, and send it out. Very good. Now my whole body's in tingles. My hair's standing up all over. I have goosebumps or chicken skin. It's fantastical. Fantastical. Isn't that wonderful? Hollow bones. Yeah, that's a nice way of describing how to be open. That's not quite what I'm explaining here, but that's what a good way to be able to receive. Hollow bones. That's a perfect way to be a vessel to allow things just to flow through you. My favorite time to use hollow bones is when I first sit down with a client and I'll start to ask them questions. As they're asking questions, I move into hollow bones. And then the next phase I move into from there is, I call it the one living Buddha. Where I feel and sense that person as a perfected being, like I'm talking to God or I'm talking to an angelic being. So I'm sensing them at their deepest level, and then allowing through that hollow bone idea, that idea of reception. Hollow bones is a way that the mind can try to create reception, open itself up to vibrational reception. And as I do that, now it feels like a wind chime. My body turns into this wind chime, it vibrates, and it begins to communicate with the energetic field around it. This is how I begin to communicate with the vast amount of spirits, and usually at once. It's not like I sit here and have one conversation with each spirit. There could be 100 spirits that show up, and it's a vibrational communication. A lot of communication is happening at once. And then usually there's some guidance that follows with that. Hollow bones. That's a really nice practice, by the way. Is practicing being hollow bones. Is anyone in need of healing today? Anyone have any pain? Do you have any pain? Are you living in pain? If you have any pain, step forward. Let's do some healing for you. You'll be amazed what can happen in the group. Also, I want to talk about Sunday. So every other Sunday, what I've set up is something called Light Club, something I used to do a few years back. It's a group meeting. It's Zoom. So it's open to everybody. All that I ask is that you message me for the link so that way I can put you into the chat group. So that way I can just send a link to the chat group. So if you're part of the group, the Facebook chat group for Light Club, you'll just automatically, when I set up the Zoom meeting, you'll get the link. If you're new to it, you won't get the link at all until you message me. This seems to be really hard for some people. They don't get that they have to message me. They'll like click like or make a comment on the post that I make, but they're not messaging me for the link. So I have your message and then I can send you the link. Because the other thing I will do is when you go in there, what I will post is ways for you to make a donation if you'd like, because that's really important. Energy exchange is important to be able to continue what we're doing. So anybody that wants to join. It's fun. It's actually, we get to be together as a group where we can actually interact one-on-one. This is kind of more one-sided, but it's nice because everyone gets to kind of share their experience afterwards if they want to. No one has to talk. You only have to have your camera on if you don't want to. We like if you do. We like for everyone to show up as community, but there's no hard or fast rules. Want healing for throat chakra, please? Thank you. Sure. I love to work with you. All right. Vandana. Let's all come together now. For our friend Vandana. Vandana says that they need some healing for the throat chakra. Okay, this usually is your self-esteem, your ability to express your voice in the world. So if you want to go deep into the healing, I suggest that you book a session with me. But from here, I'll be able to help you remove the heaviness that's in the way. We can cut the blockage open, but as far as healing the emotional stuff that's creating the blockage, you're going to need some help with that probably. But this also can just help that kind of move. So Vandana, if you already said yes, please, that means you're open and ready to receive healing. I want you just to relax and close your eyes for a moment, and I want you to bring all of your attention into your throat. I want you to feel your throat, and all of us can do this exercise. All of your attention comes into your throat. And as you bring your attention there, I want you to take in a soft, deep breath, as if you could breathe in and fill up your throat. And as you exhale, a long sigh. Okay, another deep breath, fill up your throat. Hold, long sigh. And once more, fill up your throat. Long sigh. Very good. I want you just to relax. I want you to, wherever you're seated, I want you to tip your chin up and just imagine that you're exposing your throat to the sky, sort of. You're just opening your throat. And then I just want you to give me permission. You don't have to type or do anything. You're just going to give me permission with your energy, saying that you're going to allow me to work in your throat chakra. And as you give me that permission, what I'm going to do is I'm going to softly enter into your energy field. And what I'm doing is I'm just assessing what's going on. So what I can feel is there's a strong blockage. You have a big ball of heavy energy in there. It's a little bit bigger than a tennis ball. It's quite large. It's something you've been holding on to. You've been afraid to express or talk about. You're worried about being yourself due to judgment of others. And that's not abnormal. That's a really normal thing. And what I want to do is help you to remove the heaviness, remove this heavy energy, this ball of heavy energy from your throat. And as I begin to work on your throat and open up the field around it, I want you just to relax. And if you feel the urge to cry or swallow, that is okay. Allow yourself to feel as you feel. And everyone that's here with me, become that hollow bone. Become an extension of the healing that we call into this space. And I call forward any and all spiritual light, any and all forms of divine intelligence to help us remove this heaviness from our friend Vandana's throat. And as I call this energy forward, my hands are beginning to tingle. And what's happening now is I'm beginning to dismantle and draw to me the energy in your throat. And this may feel a little scratchy or uncomfortable, but it's okay. As you're relaxing, you can feel that ball, that heavy ball of energy in your throat, beginning to relax a little more and a little more and a little more. And now I just want you to use your intention. You're going to allow me to take this from you. Say to the energy of your throat and your mind, I lovingly release you. I lovingly release you. I lovingly release you. I'm going to count down. As I count down, I'm going to begin to extract the energy. And you're just going to let go. In 3, 2, 1, let go. Wow, take in a few deep breaths. Breathe in and out through that space now. Wide open. Breathe in. Breathe in. Vandana, good. I want you now just to relax. And what I want you to do is I want you to picture yourself as the person you want to be. Not as the person that you think you've needed to be, or not as the person, the people pleaser maybe you've been up until now. I want you to picture yourself as a happy, healthy, strong person that isn't afraid to be themselves. You're loving, you're fun, you're conscious. Your smile can light up a room. You light up a room. With your intention, I want you to breathe in the energy of this new being. Fill it up into your throat. And as you exhale, I want you to just hum out loud. Hum. 2 more times. Big breath. Whatever tune you want. Once more. Good. Relax. You've reinformed your throat energy chakra with new information and energy. Great work. I want you to take a moment. Gosh, my hands are so cold. I want you just to take a moment now, and I want you just to be grateful to yourself. Gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank yourself for showing up here and being so brave to step forward into this form of healing. That takes courage. Be grateful. Be grateful to the energies and the spirits in which we call into the space to help us make these kinds of changes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful work. I'm so very proud of you. Big breath. Take in a deep breath. Long exhale. Big sigh. 2 more, Vandana. Everyone else too. Big breath in. Long sigh. And 1 more. Big breath. And long sigh. Very good. Vandana, I want you just to relax for a few moments. Close your eyes. Just sit where you're sitting. And I want you to notice the flow of energy in your body. There's a beautiful flow. It's golden. I can hear this tone, almost of like a harp strumming in the background. It's very soft. There's flowing water. Soft golden energy envelops you and surrounds you. And I send you my deepest blessings and my greatest love. And thank you for participating today. When you're ready, though, I would like you to comment to let us know how you feel now. There's no rush or no hurry. I want to thank everyone else for joining in and being that hollow bone, being that connection, helping us to facilitate healing. Because I felt it inside of me, and that's really what healing is about, is feeling it inside of you, and that's how you can help someone else. It's beautiful. Let's see up here. Let's see. Looking forward to Sunday. So am I, Tanya Johnson-Turner. TJT. Tanya says, I have a strange question. Strange? I don't know. I've been doing a lot of work on my third eye. Okay. Do you think this could be connected to the shingles that flared up on my actual eyelid? Like, it could be a weird detox of some sort. It's blistered up and looks pretty gnarly. Just curious. Well, you're in the nail on the head. It's all connected. Absolutely. Yeah. So my question would be is, you're doing a lot of work on the third eye, but most of your blockage is in your sacrum. So I would bring your attention down into your lower chakras. What's causing the symptoms is an imbalance. Your third eye is actually very sharp and very open. I've worked with you before, and I'm aware that your third eye is very sharp. However, your ability to ground is extremely limited because of you have a well-developed upper energy field. Your lower energy field, so in our tradition, these are your nawi, is what we call them, or your energetic eyes. So the lower end of your nawi system, pretty much from your heart's wonderful too, but it's about mid-gut, so a couple inches below the sternum, 2.5 inches below the sternum down, you're really clogged up. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done there, and that has to do with emotions and stuff. So I would advise you, as your friendly neighborhood shaman, to back off of the third eye work because you're going to create, it's telling you, the symptoms telling you about your imbalance. All right, so you're imbalanced. Too much energy. There's too much energy happening here. So what will happen? And it can't move through you. You get stagnant. That stagnation can cause a symptom. Shingles is, in this case, that's a like a clinical idea of an energy blockage. There's energy blockage. It's trapped in this eye. There's a trap that's happening there. And so, like I mentioned, the reason is the lower eyes aren't as developed. The lower eyes need to be developed more. The first eye, the first thing you'd want to connect to is your tailbone, and this connects you to the water. Taking time and connecting that energy into the deep waters of the earth. And in our tradition, we use this as black energy, the black waters of the deep earth. And this helps us to begin to cleanse these lower energy fields. Chakras in some traditions. It's not really how we use them. But that water works everywhere from just below the navel down all the way through the legs. This helps you to clear energy there. The next place that you would want to work would be in the koshko, is what we call it in our tradition. It's the navel, and this is a red energy center. This opens you like root system into the earth. This is your connection to the earth. So working from there, those two energy eyes, those two nawi, are the two places that I would have you work to help yourself from where you're at. So your question, though, is right on point. You're fully aware that, are they connected? Absolutely. Everything's connected. Symptoms are messengers. We like, I got something wrong. I'll just go away. Yeah, it's going to come. It's going to go because nothing is permanent here. However, it's understanding that the symptoms that arise are messengers. They're asking you to make an internal change. And that internal change, I'm fully aware right away. And then when you're mentioning, I've been doing a lot of work on my third eye. My question would be like, why? Your ability to vision isn't broke. Your ability to feel all the way into the earth is what needs more attention. So that's normal, though. People are in this big hurry. Well, if I work on my third eye, it'll open up my consciousness more. Well, it might. but it's also going to create blockage because it's a unit. You're a unit, so it wants you to learn how to grow unified in one thing. You overpower any eye of your body, you're going to have symptoms. There's other ways. There's people that are the other way. They're overpowered through their grounding and not open into their third eye. So what happens is they're connected, over-connected into certain feelings of emotion that they can't shake, and they don't have an open third eye to be able to move energy from the top down. It's a flow you're meant to. Flow energy, flow energy. If there's anything that stops the flow of energy, boop, what happens is an illness arises. Do you get it? You see what I'm saying? Grateful. Thank you, Vandana. I really am grateful for you to be here. I hope you're feeling well and that opens up for you. So, it could be 3, 5, 7 days as you go through that energy we put in there is going to create some differences. Not everything's like that. So just relax. I can tell that there's a little bit of tension that's happening. Just relax. Allow whatever's happening to happen in your life and allow yourself to express yourself. You deserve to be heard. You are important. Thank you for working with me. My absolute pleasure. Really grateful. Thank you. Anything I need to practice in my daily life for my throat chakra? Yes, singing. Okay, so, expressing yourself through your voice. Sing out loud. Sing songs that you like. Make up your own songs. Just tone out. Tone. Ah. However it feels. I do this every day. I take time every day for toning. And what I don't do is I don't have like a regiment in which to do it. I go by how I feel. Because that's what matters. How do you feel? Are you sad that day? Let it out. Sometimes you got to scream, Sometimes you're just full of joy. Sing like an angel, okay? There's no rules. And that's really what it's about. It's exploration, self-exploration. So singing. Number 2, breathing. Breathing into your body, in and out through your throat. All the way into your root, and then all the way back out, and in and out. Your breath is A1. If you don't have control of your breath, you'll never have control over your energy or your mind. Plain and simple. I hope that helps. Thank you, Vandana. This is so helpful. Makes so much sense. Hitting a pivot. Pivot! Thank you so much. My absolute pleasure. I'm always here to help. That's what I like to do. Yeah, so, it's normal. You're not facing anything abnormal, and it should be something weird like, I have shingles on my eyelid. That's a weird thing for someone to happen, but how else would it get your attention? Otherwise, you're too tough. If it's something else, if it's just like a skin irritation or something, you're going to try to work around it instead of work into it. So it already knows that, so it's just your energy field trying to guide you where you need to go. That's really all it has to do with. It's quite wonderful, quite simple, actually. You got it. I can tell you got it. Very helpful. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everyone. We're coming up at just about an hour. I want to thank everyone for their time today and coming on in and joining in this podcast. I'll be back on Monday, and I'll be doing episode 2 of the series about stress management. It's going to be a really good episode. Don't miss it. Tell your friends. Share, share, share. If you're not already subscribed on YouTube, please subscribe, like, and turn on your notifications to be notified of free live streams. Also, if you'd be interested in joining a beautiful group of people and doing some group breath work, some meditation, actually there was a surprise this week, which I'm not telling. I was going to tell about it, but I'm not telling anyone until they show up. There is going to be a little surprise. There's going to be a surprise guest who may become a permanent guest, I think. A permanent connection in what we're doing. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you're interested in that, feel free, message me, and I will send you a link. It's Zoom. If you don't have Zoom, you'll have to download Zoom and get that set up. Some people are unaware of that. I have nothing else I need to share right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to close up our sacred space. And how I do this is I open my arms big and wide, and I call to me all of my energy, all which belongs here with me. And as I do that, my hands are beginning to tingle and vibrate. And what I'm going to do is pull it into my bubble a little. And I'm going to take in a big breath and bring all the energy in my bubble into a small sphere above my head. I condense it into a ball just above my head, just above my head. And then whoosh, bring it down through my body, centering myself. Fantastic. What a great day. Happy Friday to everyone. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. I want to thank everyone today who participated in our group and participated in healing. Thank you, Vandana. It was wonderful working with you. Remember, friends, to breathe and be love. I love you all so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.